All right, hello everyone. I'm sure you're probably here because your teacher did not explain how to use APA properly, and or you made up some reference list and they say you have a bunch of problems with your APA, um, and they just don't explain it properly. So I'm going to explain how you can have perfect APA 7 using Google Scholar. All right, it's super easy, super efficient, and everyone has access to it. So you just type in scholar.google.com. Even if it's an article you found using your school's database, you can type it in here, okay? So let's say we want Curl and Drew. And by the way, in today's video, we're going to do journal articles, chapters in books, all that stuff. So I'm going to show you how to make a reference list for that, how to have perfect APA 7. So if you like the video, just drop a like and subscribe. Really helps me out. So Curl and Drew 2008, this is the first article we want to cite, okay? So it's super easy. Look at that. You have a cite button right there. You just click it and wait, that's not perfect APA. So it's a bit of a trick because it says APA and you say, okay, that's perfect. I'm just going to copy and I'm going to paste it over here and my prof's going to be okay with it. Well, no, not necessarily, okay? So here, this is not perfect APA. And why is it not perfect APA? Well, I'm going to put this document in the description, by the way. You're going to have the link to it. But for a journal article, which this is a journal article, we want our author's names with their initials, okay? So it looks good there, sure, period, year, in brackets, parentheses, period. Then you have the title of the article. So this is, you got to be careful, guys, with capitalization because your teacher may be, screw you over with that and say, okay, your capitalization is not good. So sometimes on Google Scholar or other things, you may see this like that, okay? And after a colon in a title, okay, you want to capitalize that. But everything else in the title is not capitalized, okay? Only the first word and like a subtitle or an acronym or something, and I'll give you an example of that later. Okay, so this is good, all right? The title, the name of the periodical. Okay, so research on language and social interaction. So it says capitalize all major words in the periodical name. So this is not all major words, okay? So you want research on language. On is not a major word, languages, and is not social interaction. So you want to capitalize that, okay? Then you want your volume number, okay, which we have 41, and issue number 2. Okay, be careful that this here, okay, your 41 has to be italicized. So up here, the italicized button. And then you have your page numbers. Don't write PP or anything, just give the numbers, okay? Then you put a period. But here you see we're missing our DOI, we're missing our website that we need, okay? So you want to add, and don't forget guys, I'm going to include this in the description, but stay tuned because there are some little tricks I'm going to show you with Google Scholar. So here we have here our sort of okay citation, but it's not great. So we can click on the actual link, okay, and it'll bring us to the page here, and you can click download citation, but it doesn't always work, and there are problems just like with Google Scholar. So I wouldn't always trust that. I'd use this as a reference, which comes directly from APA, so you can be sure that it's good. And then I'd fix it up, okay? So we're good here. All we got to do is copy our DOI, okay? And remember, okay, for APA 7, okay, you do not want to put like capital DOI and then put the number or whatever, okay? You want to put the whole link, HTTPS or HTTP, both are acceptable. I would just stick to one though in your reference list, //doi.org/ the DOI number, okay? So sometimes you may only be able to find this like the number. In that case, you have to write this at the beginning, okay? So that's that. That's one down. If you have any questions, guys, just in the comments below, you can ask. Let's go on to another one, okay? So let's go on to this one. I want to cite this one here. So I typed it in on Google Scholar, and I'm going to click here, APA, looks good, and here. Okay, and I put this one after curl because it starts with an E, and it's in alphabetical order, okay? So then we can go to our page here, and we see, okay, the author name, initials, good, 2013. This is again a journal article, okay? So you want your journal article, the first one. All right, so strategies, modification, blah, 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 blah. A comparison of WDCT. So this one, you need to capitalize an acronym, okay? So that's good. They did that well. Here they capitalized the name of the periodical well. Here though, you see we're missing an issue number. So what you want to do is you want to actually see if there is an issue number. As it says here, if there's no issue number, you can't include it, okay? But more and more you're going to have things with issue numbers. But for this one, for example, if you click on it here, all you see is volume 53. Look for an issue number. No, can't really find it. So it's fine without one. All right. Then you have your page numbers. And then we're still missing our DOI. So a common thing in Google Scholar is you're missing your DOI. So what you want to do, you want to just take that and you want to add it in like that. Okay. So, and I'll show you how to fix the fonts and everything later. Okay. And the formatting. This is not perfect yet. We need to add a hanging indent. So I'm going to show you that in a second. So just one thing, guys, if you're using your school software or a different software, you may run into the same issue. So here I did this on school software here. And as you see, okay, it included the DOI, which is great. However, you still see there's an issue with capitalization here because we need to capitalize the first letter of the subtitle. And here, the acronym, we need to capitalize that. A common one I see in my field as well is ESL, okay, English as a second language. You want to capitalize that. A lot of the time, the systems don't, okay? So that's great. Those are two. Now let's move on to a chapter, okay, in a book that you want to cite, okay? So here I have this one, okay, Bardovi Harlig, a really fascinating member of the applied linguistic field. So she had this chapter in this book, okay, Acquisition of L2 Pragmatics. And this is where Google Scholar gets really touchy. And when it's something in a book, it's probably not going to do it right. So if I click here, if I click this, it's not right at all, okay, because she didn't write this, okay. We need to include the author's name, the author's names, or the author's name who wrote this book, okay. So you want to go into detail, check it out. So how can you do that? Well, you can click on it, and then you're going to see here, okay, let's see, we want to go to the publisher's website. So we see, okay, don't go to Amazon or Chapters, go to the whatever seems like the publisher. So you go here, oh, it doesn't work. So if it doesn't work for some reason, then you can just copy paste the name of the book. And we saw Taylor and Francis. So you type in Taylor and Francis too. And you can go here, Taylor and Francis, the name of the book. All right, perfect. So we got the book. All right, so we see it's edited by Sean Lowen and Masatoshi Sato. Okay. So what can we do here? So you go to our handy dandy little file here, and you scroll down to chapter in an edited book. Okay. So you want to do it exactly like this. So you want your author's name, all that. So We will take it from the, what's it called? From the Google Scholar. So if we go back here, just to, start us off, okay? So you go like this. Oh no, we want that one to be first, remember guys, because it starts with a B, and it has to be alphabetical. Hopefully BCE is alphabetical and I'm not going crazy today. So if you come to your thing, you have more information here about the book. You have a DOI. So you always know the DOI goes at the end. For some books, you can't find the DOI. It's a lot harder than journal articles. And your teacher will probably say, okay, you don't need to include the DOI for that if you can't find it. But always check, okay? Yes, all right. So you have your author's name, the year, all that stuff. What else are we missing? The copyright year, sure. The title of the book chapter is Acquisition of L2 Pragmatics, great. And you want to make sure you're getting the right title name. So when you actually read the thing, look at it, right? Okay, so here you see, we want in. This is where it's wrong. So we want in, okay. And then you go to the author. Okay, so you go in Sean Lowen and Masatoshi Sato. Okay, so copy that in. All right, so you go in, and it's the initials. Okay, so you go in S Lowen. Okay, and oops, I'm butchering his name, and no comma, and M, okay, Sato, okay, and then because it's multiple, you put EDS. If it's just one, you just put ED, okay? So you're gonna go EDS, period, close it, comma, okay? Then you put the title of the book, okay? It says, provide the title of the book in which the chapter appears. Capitalize only the first letter of the first word. The Routledge handbook, okay, Routledge is a, when it's a place or something like that, like let's say it's France, you have to capitalize the F, okay? So Routledge is okay, capitalized like that, I think, okay? Proper noun, so we'll give that the Routledge Handbook of Instructed Second Language Acquisition. Then here we have an issue, okay? You see we have to put the edition and the page numbers with PP. So in a journal article, there's no PP, but here there is a PP, okay? Not PP like the bathroom, but PP like page numbers. So you want to add your first, so you see it's first edition, so we can go first, oops, what's going on? First edition, okay? And according to the instructions, you don't put this, like first, so you just want it regular. You can check that with your teacher as well, okay? Then we want our page numbers, okay? So we have our page numbers. Check that they're the right page numbers. Don't just assume, okay? So we want PP like that, okay? Numbers, PP, and then you just put the numbers like that. You close the bracket, period, then you put the publisher. So we're missing the publisher name as well. And who's the publisher? Okay, it's Routledge. Okay, so we want to put Routledge like that. Okay, and there is a period before the DOI. Okay, so you put it like that. Now, before in APA 6 and stuff like that, you had to put the publisher location. No more. Okay, don't put it. Do not put it. Okay, do not put it. Another thing, guys, don't put a period at the end. Do not do that. Your instructor, your professor, your teacher will take marks off. So don't put a period at the end. I think we're looking okay here, guys. Maybe I made a little mistake because I'm doing this fast, but you always double check, right? So it looks good to me. Looks good here. Looks okay. So if I made a little mistake, you guys tell me, but I think this is, it looks pretty good. So now, what do you want to do? You want to make sure it's all in the same font, and you just highlight it all and you put it in. I always like to go with a classic Times New Roman because you can't go wrong with it, okay? And you make sure it's the same font size. It's usually 12, what your teacher wants, okay? APA, also guys, it's always in double space, okay? So you should always double space it like this. And then what you do is you right click, okay? And you go to paragraph, okay? Then what you want to do is you want to click special and hanging, because that's what you need for a reference list. And you see it's going to be like this, and then the rest is going to be sort of indented, all right? So that's what you want. You do not want these big spaces, so you get rid of them like that. You get rid of the spaces, and and you get rid of that, okay? That looks good, so I think that's it. Some teachers may want this bolded. You have to ask your teacher about that. But yeah, so I think this looks all right. By the way, if you don't want this hyperlinked, if your teacher says, no, I don't want it hyperlinked, usually they do nowadays, because if you click this, it'll take you to the article, okay? But if you don't want it hyperlinked, you can just right-click, hyperlink. You can remove the hyperlink, okay? Or if it's like this, and you want it hyperlinked, you can just click enter beside it. If that doesn't work for some reason, you can copy it, and then you can go copy it, and then you can click, where is the thing here? I'm losing it, hyperlink, and you just copy this into here, okay? So first you should copy, then you should hyperlink, right click, hyperlink, and then you add it in, okay? And then this, if you click it, should take you right to the book. Let's test it. Perfect, it takes you there. So that's what your teacher wants. The same thing here. Okay, pretend this is indented like before. If I click here, it should take me to the actual article, which it does, as you can see here. So that's a little quick intro into APA 7, and I think it's very helpful. I know I struggled with it because professors, they don't teach you these things. So yeah, if I made a little mistake because I'm going fast, you guys can correct it below, but I think it's all good. And yeah, so that's how you use Google Scholar. Make sure to capitalize correctly, guys, and use the guide that I'm going to put in the description, and you should be good. Anyway, thanks so much. Subscribe if you like this, and I'll see you in the next video. I have great learning English content, ProfessorMontyEnglish.com, so check that out as well. Bye. If you want more videos like this, or APA tutorials, let me know in the comments if it's appreciated. Thanks, guys. See you in the next video.